Geocaching, a GPS treasure hunt. You make your way through the woods, checking your phone to make sure you're going the right way. Then you spot it. There's a wooden box with a symbol on it next to a tree. Upon opening it, you find a notebook and a collection of toys. You write your name in the book and exchange a toy for one of your own. You've just found your first geocache. Geocaching is a fun activity to do outdoors. First, use an app to find the location of a nearby geocache. Sometimes there are some handy hints to help you find it. When you do, write your name in the geocache's logbook. There are often items inside the geocache too. You can take something you like and leave something of your own behind. Once you've found a few geocaches, you can try hiding your own. You'll need to follow the guidelines on the geocaching website to ensure you do it correctly. For example, it can't be too close to another geocache. Ideally, the geocache should be a transparent container that can't be mistaken for anything else. Finally, don't forget to include a logbook.
Hi everyone and welcome to English for You. I'm Pat.
Hi everyone, I'm Nikki.
And today we're going to introduce the interesting outdoor activity known as geocaching. Let's check out what this hobby is all about in the first part of the article. And it begins by describing the kind of situation you'll find yourself in doing this hobby. It says, you make your way through the woods, checking your phone to make sure you're going the right way. So this phrasal verb to make one's way, and it's often paired with through something, make your way through the woods, through the city, and so on. It means to go from A to B through a particular place, and you kind of find your own path, you go at your own pace. You might be following a map, but the idea is you're the one in charge, you're leading it, you're not following somebody else, you're making your way through it. We also see the phrasal verb to make sure. You check your phone to make sure you're going the right way. Make sure just means to do something carefully and check that everything's right, everything's proper, and so on.
今天的课文介绍到地理寻宝这个活动。那首先你可能需要前往森林，再来确认你是否走在正确的道路上。Make one's way 指的是前往或者是朝某个方向过去。You go through the woods， 再来 make sure 的意思呢，则是确认或是确保。
So if you're checking your phone, it seems like you know you're looking for something or following a path, and then the article says, then you spot it.
You find it.
Yeah, but what is it? The next sentence explains, there's a wooden box with a symbol on it next to a tree.
A box.
Yeah, like some kind of, it sounds like you're looking for treasure somewhere.
Yeah.
It does, it's pretty fun. The article then says, upon opening it, you find a notebook and a collection of toys. Couple of things to look at in this sentence, but it also contains today's language in focus. So here's Nikki to tell you more about it.
接下来这里有一个句型 upon doing something， 那后面接着一个子句，意思是一点点点就点点点的意思。那 upon 是介系词，它后面会接一个动名词或是名词，也就是说有两件事情几乎是在同一个时间点或是同时发生的。那要注意的是，这个句子前后的主词都要一致，也就是说课文中的 upon opening it，you find a notebook and collection of toys 也可以等于 as soon as you open it, once you open it, you find a notebook and collection of toys.
So you open this box, there's a notebook inside, a little small book where you can just write small notes. And there's also a collection of toys. A collection is a set of similar things. Usually one person has gathered all of these things over a period of time. You might have a collection of books, of certain toys, might have a collection of shoes or handbags, something like that. Here's an example that shows my age. Many people my age age had large collections of music CDs when they were younger?
I mean, I do too.
Okay.
So I think it's for people who like music.
Yeah, but like who listens to an actual CD
true.
these days?
Collection 是名词，指的是一批或是收藏品，也就是一项或者是一些你收集的东西。For example, I have a collection of tote bags from different museums.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, 我平常呢每一次去一个博物馆，我就会买一个帆布袋，那这样就是这些就是我的收藏。I collect these tote bags.
My wife collects these kind of, she loves like reusable bags from supermarkets. Like we found some in the UK that were almost like woven material. They look really cool. So yeah, she collects that. Anyway, let's move on. The article says, you write your name in the book and exchange a toy for one of your own. So you've written your name and then you make an exchange. You put something in and take something out. That's what to exchange means. We could also say swap, S-W-A-P. You take something and you give something. Something goes both ways. Here's an example that you'll see in many places around Taiwan. You can collect stamps from our drink shop on this card. When you have 10, you can exchange the card for a free drink.
Yeah, it's kind of like a membership
Yeah,
card,
like a reward card, that kind of thing.
那这个地理寻宝游戏呢，就是在你找到一个木盒之后，你要把你的名字写在这个本子里，然后拿一个自己的玩具来做交换。Exchange 这里是动词，指的是交换。We can exchange our ideas， 交换想法、意见。又或是你今天如果买了衣服，但是尺寸不合 ，you can exchange your shirt for a larger size。那 exchange 还可以当做名词，也就是交换或是交流的意思。For example, language exchange program.
Yeah, I did a language exchange when I was first in Taiwan. Like I teach someone English, they teach me some Chinese, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I did that too when I was learning French.
Cool. So what is going on here? The article explains you've just found your first geocache. Now it's got a CH, but it is pronounced with the SH sound. The article then says geocaching is a fun activity to do outdoors. Now, outdoors is an adverb, just meaning it's not inside, it's outside. Be careful because outdoors is the adverb form. If you use outdoor without the S, that's the adjective form. So the adjective modifies a noun, it's an outdoor activity. An adverb, outdoors, modifies a verb. You do it outdoors. Here's an example sentence. There was a typhoon last weekend, so we didn't go outdoors at all. See, it's modifying the verb.
Geocaching 地理藏宝呢，宝藏是一个很适合在户外举行的活动。那 outdoors 这个副词指的就是在户外或是在室外。那相反的，如果这个活动是在室内的，那我们则可以说 this is an activity to do indoors.
So how do you actually do it? The article says, first, use an app. Not app. We say app,
Application.
not app.
Yeah.
It's not like TV. It's not an abbreviation. It's just app. First, use an app to find the location of a nearby geocache. So we've got this word here, location. Let's find out what that means. The word location just means the place where something is. You might need to find out what's the location of the restaurant. What is the location of your house? You might be in an airport. What's the location of the nearest bathroom? That kind of thing. And here's one more example. We found the location of the nearest MRT station on Google Maps.
那要怎么玩地理宝藏呢？我们可以先去下载一个 app。那找到附近宝藏的地点 ，location 这个名词指的是地点或者是位置，也就是那个东西或是人的所在地。We can also call it a place or a position. 如果今天你朋友迷路了，你可能就会问他 Where are you? What is your location? 那接着你朋友就可以 drop a pin 标记自己在 Google Map 上的位置，并且传给你。And then you can locate your friend. Locate 是 location 的动词，指的是发现一个人或是一个东西的位置。
So you've got this special app. It's going to be a bit like Google Maps, but instead of showing you restaurants and bus stops and so on, it's going to show you where the geocaches are.
The wooden boxes.
Exactly, or whatever boxes are being used, whatever the geocache actually is. The article adds, sometimes there are some handy hints to help you find it. Because they might be like under a tree or round the side.
You have to probably dig in a bit.
Yeah, they're in nature usually. They're not going to be be just somewhere sitting on the middle of a table in case they get stolen or damaged or whatever. So you've got hints on the app. A hint is a useful clue or piece of advice that helps you do something. It's usually practical. It's about how you can actually do a job, accomplish a task. Now, generally, a hint doesn't give you the final answer or the solution. It doesn't go, this is exactly what to do. It's more like an idea to get you thinking in the right way. So that instead of just saying, it's in a tree, you might say, look up. So the hint is look up. You still have to do some of the work. It's not just saying, oh, it's in this particular tree with a red mark on. Something very simple. Here's another example sentence. The video game's user guide gives some useful hints on beating the game. So again, it's not going to tell you to win the game, do this, but it's just going to give you a few ideas to improve your play.
Hint 名词意思是提醒或是暗示，也就是说给一个小小的线索来帮助我们理解或是了解某件事情，但是它并不是答案。For example, Pat.Can you guess what my favorite animal is? I'll give you a hint.
Oh, a hint.
It's black and white.
Black and white. Is it a zebra?
No.
Is it a penguin?
No.
Is it one of those owls?
No, it's in Taipei City Zoo and it's very famous.
Okay.
They're very famous.
It's a panda,
It's a panda.
It's a panda.
So the black and white thing is a hint.
Yeah, it's not the final answer, but it points the right way. When you do, so when you find this geocache, write your name in the geocache's logbook. So this notebook is actually a logbook, and you'll just see all the names people probably put, this is when I found it, this is the date, the time, this is my name, something like that.
那再来，我们看到 logbook 这个字呢，是在这里指的是日志，也就是说，可能有一本笔记本用来记录发生了什么事。When people do science or try to keep a record of what they do, they often do it with a logbook.
Yeah, and if you're a kind of official business, you might need to write all the incidents that happen.
And the dates.
Yeah, like
time.
if it was a plane, they might log, okay, we changed direction here, we did this here, we checked in here, that kind of thing. And the article says there are often items inside the geocache too. Like we mentioned, a possible collection of toys. Sometimes there are other things. The article says you can take something you like and leave something of your own behind. Okay,
That's an interesting idea.
Yeah, it kind of makes it a fun event. More than just a find this thing, move on. You feel like you're part of a chain of people who've done the same thing.
You don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah, and you're connecting with people because you're sharing something with somebody else. They're sharing something
And you
with
know their names.
Yeah. Sometimes it can actually be food if it's the kind of food that won't go bad if it's left for a long time. And so to leave something behind just means simply to not take it with you when you leave a place. So if you were moving house, you wouldn't want to leave anything behind. You're like, oh no, I left my umbrella behind and now it's starting to rain.
那在你找到宝藏之后呢，你就可以拿走你喜欢的东西，并且留下一个你自己的东西。Leave something behind 指的就是留下或是遗留。那要注意的，这边 leave 和离开不一样的哦，它是留下的意思。
So that's the basic activity of geocaching. But once you've kind of got started, there are more different things you can do. The article says once you've found a few geocaches, you can try hiding your own. So you can make one, you can put it somewhere.
Yeah, because now you know how to do it.
Yeah, you've got the idea of where these things are usually found and what they look like. So you think, well, why not join in more? I'll put in my own one for other people to find. Like somebody else hid this one for me. Again, it's a community, social kind of thing. The article says you'll need to follow the guidelines on the geocaching website to ensure you do it correctly.
那要注意呢，在玩这个游戏的时候，你要必须遵守游戏的规则。Guidelines 是名词，指的是准则或是方针。也就是说，我们在游戏开始前，可能会有一些我们必须要做以及遵守的规则。那这些呢，就会是它的 guidelines。那另外 website 这个名词指的是网站的意思。For example, YouTube is a website. Facebook is also a kind of website.
Yep, and following these guidelines will ensure you hide your geocache in the right way. Let's look at that word, ensure. Now, you might remember in the first sentence of our article, we used the phrasal verb make sure. Ensure, which is a one-word verb, means exactly the same thing. You do something carefully to check that it's right, to check that everything is correct, to be sure that something will happen or gets done. You might say, for example, we need to ensure we pack the right clothing for our skiing vacation next week.
Ensure 是动词，和前面提到过的 make sure 其实是一样的意思，都是确保或是保证。So you need to follow the guidelines to make sure you do it correctly. You make sure that something will certainly happen.
Exactly. So what are some of these guidelines? The article says, for example, it, meaning the one you're hiding, can't be too close to another geocache. You got to kind of spread it out a bit more. So if a load of people are there at once, they're not getting in each other's way. Here's another one. Ideally, the geocache should be a transparent container that can't be mistaken for anything else.
那这个如果你想要设立呢一个自己的藏宝点的话，这个容器必须要是透明的，不能被误认成其他的东西。Transparent 这个形容词指的是透明的。If something is transparent, you can see through it very clearly. 那另外 container 这个名词指的是容器或者是装东西的物品。It could be a bottle or box that you use to hold or store something.
Yeah, a clear plastic box would be a good idea. It's not going to hurt the environment. And the idea is to make sure it's clear. So people who find it by accident don't think, oh,
what is this?
Yeah, or who left this trash here? I'm going to throw it away. You would actually mark it to kind of say that this is a geocache. This is an activity for people to do. I think maybe there's some colors or a note you can put on it. But it's got to be clearly geocache, not just trash or something else. The article ends by saying, finally, don't forget to include a logbook. Of course,
so
people
a container and
with a little book inside. So a bottle maybe wouldn't work, but a little box certainly would, so people can write their names to say they'd found it. Now, you don't have to include the toys or other things. That's more of a choice. You can check the website guidelines if you want to do it. Now, there are more things you can do with geocaching, but we're going to talk about that in day 2 of our article tomorrow. Right now, it's time for our For You Chat question, which is...
Do you think you would enjoy geocaching? Why or why not?
I think I would if the weather was nice. It's great to be outside, walk around in nature, go on a bit of a hike and explore. And if you've got a purpose like, oh, we're looking for this thing, then it does make it kind of a treasure hunt. I can imagine that kids would really enjoy kind of doing this.
It's like Easter.
Yeah, like going to hunt for Easter eggs or something like that. You make it a fun event. You can bring a few snacks and drinks. And as long as the weather's good and the scenery is pretty, then yeah, it's kind of just adding a bit of fun to a hike, which is usually pretty fun anyway. How about you?
I think I would like it too because I like the feeling of not knowing things.
Oh, okay.
Like I want to find things, I want to hunt things.
Okay, so like find this hidden thing, solve the mystery, that kind of stuff.
So I think I'll definitely give it a try.
Yeah, it's definitely something anybody can just take part in. There are other things, as I said, you can do with geocaching tomorrow, but right now we're going to end today's lesson. For English for You, I'm Pat.
I'm Nikki.
See you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.
Vocabulary Review.
Collection. That generous man sent a huge collection of books to the new school for free. Exchange. After reading the book, we exchange ideas with each other to understand the story better. Outdoors. Danny's job is taking care of gardens, so he spends most of his time outdoors. Location. Jane's new house is in a very nice location. It's on top of a big hill and has good views of the sea. Hint. The teacher dropped a hint for the question, helping us figure out the right answer. Ensure. To ensure the safety of everyone, we must always follow the rules at the swimming pool.
智慧小补帖
Logbook. Guideline. Website. Transparent. container.